Now let's take a tour of that page.
This is a tour of D2L. What are we doing outdoors? I'll tell you what we're doing outdoors is that as you learn through the class, your final grade isn't just going to be in the course. It's going to be when you go out into the real world, when you're with family, when you're with friends, when you're at work. And for that reason, it's important to understand communication goes beyond the classroom. And as we go through the semester, always apply what you're learning out in the real world, because that is where you'll get the most benefit of it. So as we go through this tour of D2L, remember, we're going to have a lot of class online, but a lot of the application is going to be offline. So let's go ahead and head on over and take a look at D2L.
What I want to cover in this tour is several aspects of D2L that's going to be important to you as the semester goes on. We want to talk about getting started. We want to talk about the overall D2L pages and where you need to be looking for things such as assignments, attendance, college success hacks. That actually takes us out of D2L, but I think you might find it helpful. How our class, whether it is in person, online, or some type of hybrid, is always going to be a safe place for you. And then I'll send you off to do your introductions. Now, D2L is just the web portal that takes you to your course. And this online portal is used throughout the Front Range Community College system, as well as other community colleges. So there will be updates from time to time, but it's a very well-known and established platform for you. So let's take some time to explore it. The very first thing I want to bring up, though, is we tend to treat D2L differently than we do something like a social media page or some type of job application page. That is unfortunate because you need to be personal in these pages. And on D2L, that means take 5 minutes and personalize it like you would on a social media page, like you would if you were looking for a job. The more personal it is, the easier it is for other students to relate to you, as well as your instructor. This can be done very simply. As you can see, I have a cutout here of the D2L page. And if you go up into the corner, you're going to see there's a little button there for profile. Click on that. From there, what name do you want to be called by? Such as in mine, I'm under James Macaulay, but I go by my middle name. So I changed it to my nickname here, so you know to call me Brad. If you have a Facebook page you want to share, a Google, a Twitter, a LinkedIn, or an email that you prefer information going to, that can all be done by personalizing your D2L account. Now that you've personalized it, let's talk about finding things on D2L. Finding your classes, well, you found my class. I'm glad about that. But what you might need to do is find other classes in future semesters or other classes this semester. Now, if you're looking for a class in the future, always make sure you're actually in the right semester. Oftentimes, D2L will open up to the semester you were previously in, and you just need to move it over to the actual current semester. Another place is sometimes there'll be multiple classes and you just have to check to see where it's fallen to. We all want to take some time to explore different aspects of D2L that's going to relate to this course. And I want to show you where the locker is because that is very helpful for storing information, even if you're doing an online class or if you're in a building and you're doing a person-to-person class, that locker room can become helpful. The main area they need to start out with is the content. If you go up to content, you're going to locate where important information is for you. For every class, you should find your syllabus right there. There it is. This is for my interpersonal class, my public speaking class. That's going to be the first thing I put there. And if you're taking classes online, or if you're taking classes on the hybrid, oftentimes instructors will upload the classes that have already occurred into like class PowerPoint right here. Another thing they might do is if you're taking them in class and they upload them there, if you miss a day, you can always go back and watch what was presented on the day that you were gone. So that's something additional that is helpful there. And the final tabs underneath, they might put tools, a helpful tool you might need for developing a speech. I like putting things in there such as rhetorical devices, attention-getting devices. I will put sheets in there to help you, a little extra pointer here or there. On the interpersonal classes, I like putting in there things to consider, maybe a YouTube video. So content is going to have a lot of information for you. The next tab over includes activities. Activities are the things you're going to be doing throughout the week and throughout the semester. The first one there is assignments. This is where you're going to submit information to be graded. You need to always check here, and when you have a video to upload, if you're doing a speech, or you have a paper to upload, this is where you're going to go. You'll click there, and under assignments, you'll be able to upload directly, and then your instructor can see it and grade it from there. If you try to send it through Messenger or email, it can get confused in with the other messages and other emails, and it becomes more difficult to grade. So make sure when you're submitting work that's required, as you found in the syllabus, go to assignments. Next down is your discussion area. You click on that tab and it will take you to multiple discussions, whether that be think and respond or learning modules that I like using. Some of you will have both, some of you only have one of those. But discussions, you go there, you click there, and that is where you'll interact. That's also where you'll do your introduction. And the final one that you really need to watch for is quizzes. I like doing critical thinking quizzes about once a week. Actually, once a week is how often I do them. And you click on that and that will take you there. And what is nice about that is once you finish the quiz, you submit it, you'll get your confirmation email, and it will automatically grade it and go into the grade book. If you don't see it appear in the grade book and you don't get that confirmation email, that means the quiz wasn't submitted correctly and you need to go back and double check. If you have further problems, contact me on it. After that, we'll go over to the FRCC resources. This helps you. This is helpful in every class that you take, whether that be actually in class, person to person, or online. The first one is, if you're doing online, please go to the Intro to Online Learning. That will have many pointers, another guide similar to this there for you, that will help get you through. Next, if you have any support needs, and this once again is for in-person or online, click on Disability Support Services. They can help you set up a plan to make sure you get the best grade you possibly can. Underneath that, you have your library resources. That's where you're going to go when you need to look up information. It's better to go here than Google because you can easily limit to academic resources, and resources are going to count towards your grade when you include them in your papers or your speeches or presentations. The final one is if all this isn't working for you and you don't know why, try the 24/7 support. From there, they can help you, they can easily locate things, and they can resolve issues for you, whether that is with your email, D2L, or your messengers. Now we're going to step back to that progress tab. The reason why I left it to the end is because so often students don't check that and they fall behind and they don't know why. And at the end of the semester, suddenly they're trying to rush through and get everything done, and it's because they haven't checked. What you do here is you simply go to grades, and that will open up and that will tell you all the grades that have been done, where you're at, and how you're progressing through the course. So make sure you've located everything to course materials, activities, resources, tech support, and then where your grade is going to be located at. Since we're talking about grades, let's talk about items that are commonly graded on. The first is quizzes. These, once you complete them, should directly upload into the grade book. Sometimes they have to be released by the professor. In most cases, they go directly in. If you have any trouble with them, let us know. Also, make sure you submit them on time. There will be an end date for them, and if you miss that end date, you're going to lose that score. So make sure you're staying up on the quizzes, and let's go on and see what else we got. Let's talk about discussions. In my classes, I have a discussion board area. There's going to be one area that I usually call the coffee shop, and there I like to post little things that we can talk about. They're non-graded, but they kind of expand upon the information. My view is we hand you the book, but the book doesn't tell you everything. I have to come in and I expand upon it to give you some of my perspectives. And then we go beyond me and we go into the discussions where everyone can contribute and continue expanding upon the information that we're covering in class. I don't want it to be a case of where you're really word counting or counting sentences and number of postings. I want it to be more like a social media interaction where when you go there, you're actually having a talk about things. And for that reason, I use what's called a reverse grade book. Now, if you haven't had a college class yet and you haven't experienced having A's through the semester, here's your opportunity. After your first posting, I give you an A for the discussion board for the entire semester. But it's your job to keep that A. All you have to do, keep posting, keep contributing, and you keep that A. So rather than building up, you're defending something, I think you will do great at that. So make sure that once you post, you keep coming back and actually engage in a discussion. How do you defend that A? I'll tell you here. You will lose points if you don't post during a week. If you're not contributing to the discussion or exploration of the content, points will be reduced. If you do an insufficient post, and those are the posts where it's kind of, yeah, I totally agree, awesome idea, yeah, I like what you said, those don't really contribute to anything. What I want to see is that you actually respond and interact with people. Another thing that can get you in severe trouble is inappropriate behavior. We know how we interact on social media and how we should interact. We know what a troll is. We know when people are just there to start fights. And we also know when people come on there and are disrespectful. You can't be disrespectful towards each other. You have to show respect and you have to let people talk, and you have to do it in a way that's non-aggressive. So if you come on there and you're trolling people and you're just disrespecting, that can not only cost you points in the grade, but it could also cause you trouble with the college. So make sure that when you're posting, you've thought it out and you're being respectful to other people's opinions and thoughts. You don't have to change their thoughts. They don't have to change yours. We just want to explore the topic. On the positive side, though, now I told you how you could lose points. You go out there and you really post and you are sharing a lot of information and you're really contributing. There's your extra credit. Truly, I think that a good discussion is worth that, because I can give you what I can, but there's so many perspectives in a class that if you're sharing your perspectives, we're getting an overall better view of a topic. So if you go on there, you've lost a couple points on a quiz here or there, you've been late on an assignment, and you want to get some extra credit points, go to the discussion board, contribute, interact, and you'll get those extra points back. If during the semester you have a problem with a grade you receive, you're upset by it, and you really want to just, oh, Brad, this is wrong, you did me wrong. I will respect hearing you. I absolutely will. What I ask for you to do, though, is not to suddenly send me an email right after you receive the grade or send me a message and be upset, because that anger or that frustration, it comes through in what you're saying. You might have a very valid point, and the way you get that through is take 24 hours. Think about what you're going to say, and then write me with a reasonable argument, and you'll be surprised. I listened to it. I might come out of there agreeing with you. But that's only if you take the time to actually articulate what your argument is. Attendance is very important online and in person. I want you to be interacting on the discussion board at least once a week. That just shows me that you're coming around there and you're still checking it. And I also want you to ask questions as they come up. If you don't ask questions and you don't participate and you're not really exploring the topic and you're just kind of cruising along, it's really difficult to get the information through to you. So make sure that you're present when you're there. If you're going to miss some time, contact me, let me know. And if you do miss some time, go back and watch the PowerPoints, watch the videos of the class, and you'll find a lot of the information there. The hacks. Yes, these are helpful. Now, not that long ago, I was actually a graduate student at the University of Northern Colorado, and before that, I was an undergraduate student at the University of Northern Colorado. And during that time, I explored and found some things out that I wish I had known going into the classes, because after I found them out, they could have saved me so much time. First thing, if you're using Microsoft products, you now have a .edu account. This means you can go get Office 365, all the cool tools that are on PowerPoint, all the great new advances they have for Word, all of that you can have for free by going to the Microsoft webpage, as you can see here, and putting in your .edu account. And you'll be able to download it onto your computer. You'll be able to access it through the cloud. So it's free. My first semester in class, I think I was trying to use Office from like a Vista program that had the world's oldest PowerPoint, and it was horrible. But once I updated it, it made my life so much easier. So if you're using a PC or a laptop that uses Microsoft products, go there. Also, if you're using Apple products, check their webpage too. I don't use them, so I'm not positive they're available, but your .edu account can get you some free stuff, so use it. Next, whenever you're going to be doing work, whether it's in class, in person, if it's online, or if it's one of the hybrid classes, back everything up. Because there's nothing worse than losing information. Such as, let's say you have to submit the reflection paper at the end of the semester. You've typed it up, you've gotten all ready, and you save it on your computer, and then something happens to your computer. I don't know, you just lost your entire assignment. You have to go back and redo it once you get your computer working again. What you could have done instead is you could have done something along the lines of uploaded it to OneDrive, saved it, and then emailed it to yourself. And anywhere you can access your email, you can then access your paper. Or you can go to the D2L locker and you can store the information there. So no matter where you are, you can then upload it and submit it. So if you're submitting online, that's really helpful. If you're in person, I know it saved many students because they get to class and they forgot to print off their final essay, and they're like, oh no, what am I going to do? It's at home, I'm here, I can't print it. Well, when we're on campus, you can actually then run to the computer lab, pull it up, print it, and you're all set. That's where you're going to find your locker. Underneath course materials at the very bottom is locker, and you can access it from pretty much anywhere you can log in to your D2L. Here's another hack for you. Falling behind is a bad idea. Too often I've seen students that will fall behind and then that just overwhelms them because instead of looking at, oh, I got to do a discussion post this week, they're looking at, oh, I got to do 5 different discussion posts, and that's in one class, and when I add in my other classes, it becomes overwhelming. And falling behind, in my opinion, is the reason why many students leave college. Set yourself a schedule. Say, Monday I'm going to do this, and I'm going to have this done by Thursday, and I'm going to have this done by Sunday. And that way you stay on top of it. And by staying on top of it, you're going to feel better about your progress and you won't feel overwhelmed. Read the syllabus. It's there for a reason. We have a very formulated one for Front Range, so you should be finding everything pretty much in the same place. And go in there and see what's expected of you during the semester. And if you have questions, ask them. We'll be glad to answer them for you. And if there's ever something that gives you an easy point, like my reverse grade book, man, don't let those slip by. You know, if you're going to get those points for the semester, boy, it's easy just to go in and post and have a little discussion with your other classmates. Get the easy points. They add up through the semester and they make your life easier. I also want you to realize whether you are online, in person, or hybrid, that it's a safe zone for you. I'm not a judgmental person. I like to see other people's perspectives, and for that reason, I really want you to feel that you have the freedom to choose or decide. I can't force you to be in the class. I can't force you to do the discussions. You have the choice to decide to show up to class, or to post in the discussions, or to do that quiz. But if you don't, there will be things that happen, like it will hurt your grade. But I want you to have the freedom to decide for yourself. Safety, it's a safe place. It is safe in that you're not going to be, of course, physically threatened. That's not who I am, and I don't know any college professors are like that. But also emotionally and intellectually. I'm a person, I don't like saying that's wrong or no. Actually, what I prefer is to say, okay, why do you feel that way? Explain this to me. Because oftentimes that's more critical than correcting. So for that reason, it's a safe place to come out and say, this is how I think. And I won't say, oh, that's wrong. I'm going to say, oh, well, tell me why you think that way. Because oftentimes your perspective will be an enlightenment for me. So you have your safety in the classroom. I value you. You're doing something incredible. This is your hero's story. I will tell you that through the semester. This is your hero's journey. You've gone out of something safe. You know, you've gone out of your home and you're taking on a new challenge of college. And when you're in college, you're going to encounter these struggles and these trials and tribulations. And for that reason, I value you. You're a brave soul. You're doing something to improve yourself. You've gone out of your comfort zone. And for that reason, I truly value you. And openness. Yes, I have my views. So do you. And the important thing is not that we find a way to make them clash, but we find a way to hear all the different perspectives. So if you disagree, that's not bad. Matter of fact, I think it's more fun when someone disagrees because then I get to see a different perspective. I really don't like when everyone agrees with me because that's really dull. I already know how I feel. I like hearing how you feel. So it's a safe zone for you in this classroom. And I want you to feel that you have the freedom to participate. You have the freedom to express yourself. That it's going to be safe for you to do so. That it's going to be valued when you do, and that we're open to hearing what you have to say. I mean, I get an opportunity to see the world from different eyes, and that's your eyes, and that's when you share. So this is a safe zone. And one thing about college that's really important, I know that there's, tuition with it and there's books, But once after you begin opening your mind and exploring, that's your experience. And whatever you have experienced, no power on earth can take from you. So when you get your associate's degree, when you get your bachelor's, your master's, your doctor's, that's yours. All that knowledge, no one can take from you. That is yours. What we talked about D2L. We talked about attendance and assignments and college life hacks, and this is a safe place. And now, remember where I showed the discussion was? Go introduce yourself. I'll see you on that page.